Rizal's Grand Tour of Europe with Viola 1887. After the publication of Noli, Rizal planned to visit the important places on Europe before returning to Colomba. Dr. Maximo Viola agreed to be his traveling companion. After he received Panchino's remittance of 1,000 pesos which was forwarded by Juan Luna from Paris, he immediately paid Viola the sum of 300 pesos which Viola kindly loaned so that the Noli could be printed. Having paid his debt, with the remaining money in his pocket Rizal was ready to see the Europe. Rizal and Viola first visited Potsdam, a city near Berlin which Frederick the Great made famous. The tour began at dawn of May 11, 1887. Rizal and Viola left Berlin by train. It was ideal season for travel. In Rizal's luggage included all the letters he had received from his family and friends. Their next destination was Dresden, where Rizal and Viola stayed longer. The local floral exposition was taking place when they visited. Rizal, who was interested in botany, studied the various plant varieties of extraordinary beauty and size. They visited Dr. Adolf B. Meyer, who was overjoyed to see them. In the Museum of Art, which they also visited, Rizal was impressed by a painting of Prometheus bound. They also met Dr. Jagger, who advised them to inform Blumentritt of their coming after hearing of their plan to visit Leitmeritz. The train that Rizal and Viola boarded arrived at the railroad station at 1:30 p.m. of May 13, 1887. Blumentritt was carrying a pencil sketch of Rizal so that he could recognize his Filipino friend. For the first time the two scholars met, who come to know each other by correspondence. They greeted each other in fluent German. Beautiful memories of Leitmeritz. Blumentritt was a great tourist. He showed Rizal the scenic and historical spots of Leitmeritz. Rizal also met another renowned scientist of Europe, Dr. Carlos Chapulok. Blumentritt brought him to Chapulok's home and Rizal had a nice conversation with this Polish scholar. Blumentritt also introduced Rizal to Professor Robert Kluchok, an eminent naturalist. On their last night in Leitmeritz, Rizal and Viola, to reciprocate Blumentritt's hospitality, tendered a banquet, a farewell dinner at his honor. On May 16, at 9:45 a.m. Rizal and Viola left Leitmeritz by train. Rizal carried on to his grave the beautiful memories of his visit to Leitmeritz. After Leitmeritz, Rizal and Viola visited the historic city of Prague. They carried letters of recommendations from Blumentritt to Dr. Vilcome, professor of natural history in the University of Prague. The good professor showed them the city's historic spot. Rizal and Viola visited the tomb of Copernicus, the famous astronaut, and the Museum of Natural History and many historic spots. After saying goodbye to Professor Vilcome, the two tourists went to Brunn. According to Viola, nothing of importance happened in this city. May 20, Rizal and Viola arrived in the beautiful city of Vienna, the capital of Austria and Hungary. With a letter of recommendations from Blumentritt, Rizal and Viola met in Nordenfels, one of the greatest novelists in Europe. During that time they also met two good friends of Blumentritt, Mosner and Nordmann, Austrian scholars. On May 24, Rizal and Viola left Vienna on a riverboat to see the beautiful sights Danube River. From Linz to Rinfall the river voyage ended in Linz. They traveled overland to Salzburg, and from there to Munich, where they sojourned for a short to savor the famous Munich beer, reputed to be the best in Germany. After Munich they visited Ulm. The cathedral of this city was the largest and tallest in all Germany. Crossing the frontier to Switzerland from Rinfall, they crossed the frontier to Schaffhausen, Switzerland. They stayed in this city from June 2 to 3, 1887. They continued their tour to Basel, Bâle, Bern and Lausanne. Geneva. After sightseeing in Lausanne, Rizal and Viola left on a little boat, crossing the foggy lake to Geneva. Aside from visiting the tourist spots, Rizal and Viola went boating on the lake in this aquatic excursion. On June 19, 1887, Rizal treated Viola to a blowout. It was his 26th birthday. Rizal and Viola spent 15 delightful days in Geneva. On June 23 they parted ways. Viola returned to Barcelona while Rizal continued the tour to Italy. Rizal Rosette Exhibition of Igorots in 1887 Madrid Exposition. While Rizal was accompanied by Viola touring Europe, an exposition of the Philippines was held in Madrid, Spain. From Geneva, Rizal went to Italy. He visited Turin, Milan, Venice and Florence. On June 27, 1887 he reached Rome, the Eternal City and also called City of Caesars. He was thrilled by the sights and memories of the eternal feast day of St. Peter and St. Paul, the grandeur that was Rome. He wrote on June 27, the Vatican, also known as the City of Popes and the capital of Christendom. After a week of wonderful stay in Rome, he prepared to return to the Philippines. He had already written to his father that he is coming home.